Jayco's most popular family camp and fifth wheel, I think, just got a little bit better. This is the 29 DDB. Yeah, you know me. My name's Josh the RV Nerd. Welcome to Bish's RV. Actually, down here at Jayco's facilities, I got a chance to get a first look at some of the new 2026 models. One of the first things is just the general overall look of these, I think, is very sharp. But last year, the interiors felt a little merp to me. This year, it's subjective. I like the new look inside of these. It just has that open, airy, fun, I call it beach house kind of vibe going on. They've gone to all cloth touch furniture as well, so you don't have to worry about any of the like peeling, flaking kind of pleather stuff and challenges you may have heard from a lot of the brands out there, most of them, frankly. This member right here, the DDB does have auto leveling. It is enclosed forced air heated belly. These are 0 to 100 degree rated. We have a 3,000 pound towing hitch on the back if you want to add a cargo pod or generator tray or bikes or something like that. The 200 watt solar package up on the roof is a reasonable battery tender. That's really what its job is there to do, to keep the battery up and topped off and alive and longer living while the RV's in its storage mode. If you want to do some more heavy duty off-grid stuff, though, you could add some solar, and it is inverter prep to quite a few of the outlets in there. There's things about, like, this floor plan is very popular. A lot of people say, man, I really don't like the orientation of the sofa and the dinette, but it sure doesn't seem to stop this one from finding homes. I think it also helps that this one has a private sliding door for the double over double bunks in the back, which are 600 pounds rated each, by the way. In this floor plan, I've seen a lot of people actually remove the upper bunk and create effectively a 2-bedroom arrangement. They've also redone the front bedroom on these, giving it a 66 by 80 Olympic queen for a little more elbow room, which is also really handy if you're a household like me where you have a dog that sleeps in bed with you. Got a little 20-pound fluff ball named Carlos McGillicuddy, and he somehow can occupy 2/3 of a bed. I don't know. You probably didn't tune in to hear about my dog, so let's get in there, and if you appreciate how we tell you the good with the bad and everything in between, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. All right, so let's say you are one of your kids, or you just, I don't know, you woke your kids up and you turned around in the morning. That's our point of view here. I'm sitting on the stairs of the bunk area looking for it, just to help you catch your bearings. You see the entry door over there. I kind of jump around like the House of Pain to different start positions in different RVs. Let's start hitting on some features here. We have a carpetless floor flush slide, and the slide flooring matches the main flooring, and it just makes the whole thing, I think, look nice and clean and clear. But you're also not seeing floor ducted heating vents. Jayco recently basically developed their own RV heat ducting system that still actually has the heat plenum in the floor, which means the floor of the RV is still heated, but you actually have cabinet side ducted air. Now, that's not a normal system within the RV industry, as far as I know. It's pretty much exclusive to Jayco right now. You notice how you don't directly see the air conditioner. You see a pair of air intakes on the right and left. That's called their whisper ducted air system. And if you don't see the square, you won't hear the air, at least not near as much. It is significantly quieter in here as compared to many air systems that are out there. Now, this is not the only quiet air system that exists in the RV industry, and every manufacturer makes some cockamamie, unproven claim that their air system is the quietest on the marketplace. I don't know that this necessarily is. I know that I've been in a lot of RVs with the air running, and this is quieter. So I'm going to give that sounded like Wyatt Earp. Anyway, what do you think of this table design? It's the same true U-dinette, big old frickin' table that they've always had, but they went with a more drastic kind of corner cutaway, so it's easier to scoot your bellies around this thing. And they went with a single pedestal telescopic style leg right here. The table is very sturdy. The tabletop can now spin if desired for some odd reason. And when it folds down into a sleeper, that post also provides more under support. So, if you do need more sleeping than just the front bed and the rear bunks provide, this can offer that pretty darn effectively. Now, working our way around right here, this is solid surface countertops, which is something Eagle HT has been off and on with for years, but they apparently this year they're going solid surface, and we have a lot of counter space in here. And I think this is probably one of the really popular parts of this floor plan. I've yet to see an RV that has too much storage and too much prep space. Now, this RV doesn't have a ton of campside windows, but it does have a lot of storage and it does have a lot of prep space. And when you are camping a family, sometimes it's just got to function first and fashion second. And this one maximizes the function opportunities in this area right here. But being a laminated sidewall RV, it does mean that we are relegated to like things like power outlets under the overhead cabinets, as you see over here. And again, I try to be fair. I try to tell you the good with the bad. I just try to be real about this. Hold on, back up, Josh. I'm a little surprised we don't have any kind of stovetop cover here. Now, this floor plan does have, I think, enough prep space that you can get away with it, but maybe not all of them. By the way, these are all GE appliances throughout the kitchen. Your refrigerator, stove, oven, and microwave comp. That's like a residential size microwave here. Ooh yeah, with the cardboard pizza donut, yum. That's the good stuff right there. You put that on 350 and you burn your whole camper down. Don't do that. Let's be real though. The TV, like, yes, it can pivot, but this floor plan does not prioritize television viewing first and foremost. Basically, they'd have to make the RV about 3-4 feet longer to try to finagle things around to give it a sofa direct facing entertainment system. And they prioritize family space over entertainment space on this floor plan. And you might hate that. There's plenty of other RVs that are out there. I personally, I get it. I understand why they do it. And I'm not the one buying it. So I'm not telling you if it's good or bad. I'm not trying to justify it either way. I do like, what do you think about the color palette that we got going on in here though? It's kind of light and sort of fun. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool myself, but I'm definitely not someone who's good with decor stuff. So it could be ugly. I don't even know. Now you might notice all your cabinetry has hidden hinges, magnet holdbacks, and it is pocket screwed. So screws into wood. Now there is still some MDF particle board fascia under the sticker wrap, but there is a real wood core. That's what's known as lumber core cabinetry. Working our way around here, I want to point out how, your windows open for awesome airflow. They really maximize the size of the windows wherever they could. Again, the camp side of the RV doesn't have the world's biggest windows. And sometimes people go, why don't they put more windows on the campsite? And the culprit, the reason is literally the entry door. You literally can't just flip-flop this floor plan because the furniture would conflict with the entry door, which cannot move. So unless you want to add 2.5 feet to the RV, this is kind of what we get. I also really want to commend them. It drives me crazy when wasted space is left in RVs. And a lot of manufacturers go, oh, it's just not worth the money of doing it. You know what? I disagree. Storage matters. So the little cubby pockets behind the refrigerator, for me, it matters. I really like seeing the thoughtful... Whoa, speaking of which, I just clued into, the new one-piece slide fascia that they have going on in here. What a nice, clean fit and finish with no, machine gun line of staples on it. That's just a nice look and feel kind of feature right there. That is a 10 cubic foot, 12 volt compressor fridge, by the way. A lot of campers have started, not RV people, but RV makers have started shrinking down to 8 cubic foot fridges without telling you about it, calling it an update that has saved you money. But again, this one seems to still be maintaining that step above that you kind of expect from a Jayco, I think. And by that, Jayco makes a variety of things. They make some very basic J-flights, and then they make some very fancy pants, shiny shoes kind of things. And Eagle's in that, I kind of call it upper middle class, in my personal view and opinion. You might feel differently about it. But, I think when you see the name Eagle and when you see Jayco on a fifth wheel nowadays, there's just a certain expectation. I will say, one of my only annoyances with this floor plan is that overhead cabinet door isn't some kind of strutted, but that's me looking for trouble with a map and glasses. They even nailed a big spot for a wastebasket. And again, here, let me sit down. If I sit down at the sofa, this is what your rainy day TV viewing would look like. And if that's unacceptable for you, that's okay. Don't buy this floor plan. Don't buy this camper. There's plenty of other things that might work better for you out there. I'll try to think of a couple similar but slightly different versions of this floor plan or some kind of, 32 to 35 foot bunkhouse. I can leave you links for in the video description. But overall, I feel like I could deal with it. But that's I'm not the one buying it. You might be. So, you tell me, is that good, bad, or awful, or I don't know what. This again is another case of no space gone to waste with the double. I'm going to call these dresser drawers, but they're actually on the kitchen side of this sliding privacy door for the bunks that we have over here. You can just see the handle of it peeking on the left middle of the screen right now. Like, I'm trying to think. I like that they didn't waste the space, but like these drawers are outside of the kitchen area. Does that make them easier to use somehow? I don't know. Let me know. And yes, that drawer also opens. I left one open, one closed to give you the view. These bunks are 600-pound rated each. There are dedicated heating and cooling vents back in here. And the extra little storage pocket shelf that they include up there, if I get you all the way around here, you see how each bunk has its own light, its own power outlets and everything. Those little details are very, very handy. Now, the bunk room technically does have TV hookup, but the bottom bunk is going to have no way to utilize it. So there's a little bit of a potential imbalance there. And that window curtain right there, that is covering the fact that there actually is a slider window panel. So all the windows in the bunk space do open for airflow, which is kind of a nice handy detail there. Totally unrelated to the bunk room. Real quick, in the kitchen, this has one of those like 5-piece smart sinks with the veggie thing and the cutting board and the cup sprayer. How much do you care about this stuff? Is that just fluff stuff? Or if this was just a plain farm sink, would it be just as good for you for less money? Please leave me a note. Let me know. I'm just super personally curious about that. And I'm going to break my normal order of operations. As long as we're moving upstairs, I'm going to go ahead and just point the camera back here with the slide closed in what I call road mode. This is a rack and pinion slide system. One of the things that means is you should not occupy that slide while it's retracted in that seat. Although the refrigerator, they do take that into account. So it's not like you got to unload the fridge to travel. But it showcases the fact that you're going to lose that rear bunk room in transit. You maintain the kitchen, so it can be good for a quick travel stop because the bathroom remains functional and accessible over here. You might notice that does have a sliding pocket privacy door. You're going to want to get that out of the way to give you some like shoulder and elbow room, maybe some hip room there if you're a little bit, more staturous, which is not a word, but it is now. I've coined a new phrase, and I've always wondered why they call it coining a new phrase instead of like minting a new phrase, because you mint coins, but I'm way off topic here. Take a look at me standing in the shower, because I'm sure that's why you tuned in today. The thing is, you have a very comfortable shower experience here in these Eagles now. You did not used to. And you have that because they've gone to a full-size shower skylight. Eagles have a little bit thicker frame, which means the upper deck is a little bit shorter in clearance as compared to a lot of different RVs that are out there. Now, I often forget to showcase this, but this actually is a medicine cabinet. It's not just a beer on the wall. And I know we're very up close and personal on this stuff. I don't run fisheye wide-angle lenses, so apologies there. What I do, though, is I give you x-ray vision on the right side of the screen, and I show you all the little storage space that we have over here in this bathroom. I really like what they did under the bathroom sink. It's also an easy place to get to see the all pecs on pecs plumbing that you have down there. Jayco not really doing the flex on pecs kind of thing. Something I do appreciate is just a light switch by the door. I mean, we have those in our house. A lot of RVs just lack them. This is also a little bit bigger mattress. This is not just a queen. It's an Olympic queen, 66 by 80 inch. And again, I don't use the funky monkey fisheye lensing, so it looks very dominant here in this room. And it is, but you can still walk around the bed pretty easily. We'll get down there in just a second. They do not have an upper deck closet slide in this. So instead what you have are a pair of large breeze across and viewing windows in this area. Although I left that one kind of somewhat covered by the closet door, shooting myself in the foot. Moving on from there, these are 50 amp service. They are available with the second factory air, as you see right here. That second air, also a 15,000 BTU unit, by the way. Now, if I get you up here, if you get the second air, you see that the thermostat you can actually reach from bed, which is really, really nice, so that you don't have to get up and accidentally put on a free show for the neighbors if you forget to pull the privacy shades, although maybe that's something that you enjoy doing. I don't know. I'm not judging. Doesn't matter. These power outlets, by the way, you see that orange sticker that's telling you that this is inverter prepped. I like how they give us the dual bedside drawers over here. This one is actually extra large. Sorry, I'm right on top of this stuff. I don't normally open a lot of storage on screen live like this, which this is probably why, because then my footage gets to be a lot jankier than normal. All kinds of fun little goodies down here under the bed. What we're looking at, you've got this camper has like an outside kitchen. This down here, this is all the stuff that hooks into the arm for the J port. So a little sink with a cover, and those things up there, those are your theater seat sofa swivel stands, so that you know all that stuff is included. I just had it down here under the bed to kind of simulate some cargo. And then spinning around the other direction here in the bedroom, we already kind of saw the closet door, but I don't want to forget the fact that there are two very large dresser drawers down there. So you have lots of space in this RV for folded clothing. Theoretically, that would be the, sorry, that came out really weird. That brown cabinet over there in the corner with the black pipe in it, that's your hanging closet space in this RV. It is washer dryer prepped. If you install the washer dryer, you're going to lose the hanging space. But over 98% of people never install a washer dryer. So for the vast majority of people, it's going to work great. For the person who's like, I got to have a laundry solution, it is there, but it comes at a cost. And I always like to tell you the ups and the downs. And if you appreciate little stuff like that, and also like showing you all the storage and, you know, the slide close, talking about the mechanisms, all the extra details that we give you, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep on keeping you educated to the best of my nerdy ability. I love the look of that nose cap. I think that is very, very sharp. I'm not going to bang on this drum too awful hard. When we're in a fifth wheel like this, I'm just going to say that I don't think I recommend pairing it up with a half-ton pickup. There's a lot of places that will take your money and do it. I personally am not one of those people, because the hitch weight of this is going to be too high against the payload rating of almost every half-ton out there. So generally speaking, don't like the idea of half tons on these. But the Eagle word on that nose cap is inside. I don't even have the nose cap lights on right now. This thing just looks awesome. The front, I don't know, cargo area, whatever you want to call it, the gooseneck storage space, brother, on this one is, I think, pretty good for its class. They don't pack a lot of stuff in here. They leave you room for a lot of batteries than just some generic cargo space on the left. If you want, I'm pretty sure you can get these generator prepped, and when you do that, the 30-pound propane tanks that you see will jump up to 40s. The weird thing is, Eagle has never actually offered a factory-installed generator, so there you go. I'm trying to remember. I think this is a single sewer outlet kind of camper. Let me get down here. I believe that's correct. I see some kind of pull valve back there. We'll have to circle back on that one a little bit. But your dump gate valves, they are all enclosed in the underbelly, which is also forced air heated, has radiant barrier layering. These are all 0 to 100 degrees. All your Eagle stuff has that little black tank sewer hose tube, so that you don't have to get pink eye mixing your camp stuff with your sewer stuff. Enclosed docking center here. There is a cold water sprayer in that black circle above. And as we get in here, a couple things. Over on the left, we have that 3-stage water filtration system. And then when you look up top, right next to that, you actually have a forced air heat duct here in the not underbelly. They have one in there too, but in the pass-through cavity. And that's a cool extra thing Jayco is doing. Well, I guess it's a hot extra thing Jayco is doing, where they're actually force air heating your cargo compartment. And when they do that, it means that your bedroom and bathroom floor aren't necessarily going to be as chilly at night, assuming the furnace is running. So, there's little caveats to that. But overall, people seem to like that idea. They also run a full layer of radiant barrier backing across the top of that pass-through. Then over here, you've got things like your outdoor Bluetooth speaker connection system, because this is separate indoor-outdoor entertainment. And the big black box with the plastic peeling off the screen just for shipping protection purposes is your solar charge controller. And I am fighting off a sneeze right now. Hold on. Banana. Sorry. I know this sounds insane. I swear, if you pinch your nose and you say banana really fast, you don't sneeze. I don't know why. It has literally always worked for me. It's never failed me once. I don't know what the magic is, Maybe we're living in a simulation and I found the program or cheat code, not sure. If you look over the roof line, you can see the little kind of long, slender, silver horizontal rectangle thing. That's your 200-watt factory standard solar panel here. A fair battery tending package. I think you can get their Overlander 2 package, which is 400 watts of solar and a 2,000-watt inverter. Very solid patio awning space. And I like how the entry door is in the middle of it, because if it's a little bit of a drizzly day, to the tune you could still leave that awning out. It's really nice to be able to gain, you know, an indoor and outdoor space for the kids, because otherwise, man, you end up going stir crazy fighting off that sneeze still. Apologies. Notice how the speakers are mounted down in the skirt line, and we also have the folding entry handle over here. They go with a little bit extra large variety so that you you have a little something more to hold on to coming in and out. By the way, did you notice I didn't sneeze? The little banana trick must have worked here. Now, Jayco has recently moved away from Goodyear tires, and they've gone to Rainier's, which I need to learn more about. My understanding is that Rainier is like the import division of Goodyear. I could be totally wrong on that. So if you're curious about tires, do a quick little, Rainier R16 trailer tire search and see what you can come up with. I do want to point out, though, that blue MORryde suspension package you have down there between the tires. Not only does that provide better, smoother ride and handling, but also it does have greasable fasteners, Zerks. So you can actually keep the system lubricated for long-term use and ownership, not short-term use before failure. Now, when I say short-term, I don't have a hard number I can apply to that because there's not enough tracking of data like this, but stands to reason if you can lubricate the suspension of your thing that weighs like 10,000 pounds, it's probably going to hold up better, longer, stronger. Now, over here, they've minimized their camp kitchen space, and I'm kind of here for it personally. I'm not opposed to a good old big camp kitchen, but unless you're going to go all the way with it, don't. I almost said something HR wouldn't approve. Don't half it. Hot, cold outside utility sprayer. Dad's medicine cabinet outdoors. That is a 110 fridge, by the way. But we just have this open pocket over here. Now, if you don't care about an outside cooker station, this is all you need. And if you do care about an outside cooker station, you've got the J port down here where you can hook up a whole little like swing arm tray mount for an outdoor grill or griddle or whatever. And there is a gas grill quick connect down in that area. I'd like to draw your attention to the taillights if you would be so kind. Please note their location. Notice how they're up above the license plate marker. That is an unusual location within the RV industry, and I think actually probably a safer location for those things. Also notice, under those bunks, we have the junk in the trunk storage space. So I guess I need to ask, what you gonna do with all that junk below those bunks? That is the world that we live in now, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, hasn't been super lit up in here because you have motion lighting that I hadn't quite triggered yet by coming around the corner. The 3,000-pound towing hitch on the back. Eagle HT was the first mass-produced fifth wheel series to standardize a 3,000-pound rear towing hitch. They weren't necessarily the first to do it ever, but they were the first to make it a standard feature across all their models across the board. And I said I would circle back to the sewer drain outlet thing. I'm not seeing a second sewer hookup. This says gray water holding tank. So evidently, you have a second pole out here, although the gate valve is still enclosed and protected in the heated belly. But you probably have, this is the gate valve release for your kitchen gray tank, and then it does plumb all out to a single location. And hey, look at that. Rack and pinion slide system staring us right in the face. So what do you think about the updates on this one? Where did they nail it? Where did they fail it? What would you like them to continue to improve upon? And what don't they need? Because sometimes it's good to know that too. I'll leave you links to double check pricing and availability. And short of that, when you're ready, we're ready. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. It's kind of creepy as I start walking toward the camera like this.